And hello again, and welcome to Days of the Wolf. It is Thursday, September 13th, 2018. This is D Wolf coming at you live somewhere in a secret location in the Northwest. It's going to be a little short news day today. I got some appointments with some clients, but I wanted to kind of go over some of the brief news that's out there. Things I've kind of been observing and stuff. First order of business is the cryptocurrency 80% plunge that is seemingly worse than the .com crash. The idea of of this being worse, I think, is relative, because what we're really looking at is, the growing pains of new money. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that they're not really. They're saying, cryptocurrency. It's like this fake money, and it's I trust the greenback and I trust the gold and stuff like that. And I'm with you. I mean, fiat currency, gold is, yeah, definitely a. I wouldn't necessarily call gold a currency. It's more of a item of value. I mean, you can get gold certificates or have some promissory notes saying, "Oh yeah, you own some gold, in a vault somewhere." But the thing that cryptocurrency is going to bring to the table, and take advantage of it as you can, is that it's a pure distributed component that is immune to seizure, immune to any type of liens, immune to just kind of being taken over. There's no custodial third party that has to bend the knee to any governance, to leak that money out or to leak that value out. I don't I don't know if I 100% agree with Burton about the creator of Ethereum, that we're at kind of the end of the $1,000 or 1,000% spurts of value of cryptocurrencies as a whole. I'm open ended about it, but for sure, I think it's a great way to transfer your wealth and to shield it against things that kind of want to take it out. I mean, I've expressed it. Me and my significant other both were victims of bank seizures in the first world country, by the way. I mean, by creditors or by the IRS or by any type of lien that's put against your particular assets. The custodial person, that's a bank or your financial regulators or your financial, stock holdings and stuff, are subject to that. And that's where cryptocurrency is just the strongest. It enables you to put wealth in a secondary account, if you will, or a wallet that just cannot be trifled with unless you surrender your private keys, unless the mnemonic phrase to reconstruct your e-wallet is put out there. So yeah, it's pretty grim, and we are in a bear market when it comes to cryptocurrency. But we kind of have to understand why we're in that cryptocurrency bear market, because it's still relatively a small player when you consider all the fiat currencies of all the governments of the world, kind of working on working against each other, or still have that custodial relationship with your money, which isn't really your money, but I can go forever as far as that's concerned. Second news story of the day, and I'm not really a fanboy of any type of company that's out there. I know there's a lot of Apple fanboys that are just going to hate me for this, but in a word, Apple and iPhones, they suck in my opinion. And this news story kind of in it enhances that. Apple discontinues the iPhone X and no longer sells iPhones with headphone jacks. And I made kind of a comment on this that Apple's removal of the 1/8 headphone jack isn't about headphone jacks, nor is it about updating to new technology. It's about control, and is just one small front in the war to eventually erode the user control over their own data. Your computer has your data, but the item that you use, your computer or your iPhone or your mobile device, holds that data. They are something Apple can't control once the signal is on the jack, on the headphone jack, and they fucking hate it. You can do anything with it, redigitize it, or pipe it to any device. The sound was yours once you got that jack. But Apple doesn't like that, and they are basically tossing an invite to the entire industry to follow along and start down the more restrictive path, where they control, here it is again, your data. It's like, follow us and you can get in on the action too. Erode what you can do with your audio to one tiny tenth step at a time. And this is what I hate about Apple products. They're overpriced. $1,000 for a mobile device. At least Samsung has the courage to try to mitigate the price points so everybody can get their item. And they're not getting rid of their jacks. I have a S7 Samsung, and I love it. I haven't had any problems with it. That's not entirely true. I've had it for several years, and there's a little bit of screen burn-in. But, the whole crux of the idea of a mobile device, it's set for planned obsolescence. I think Samsung, it's just kind of like Apple in the sense that they're trying to make money, obviously. They're not a charity. But they're a little bit more open with their design, and at least to try to get the price point down. And some people would say, oh, Apple's American, and, you're not American if you're not buying an Apple product. And Samsung's like South Korean. Well, I have to say this about South Korea. South Korea is one hard fucking working tech industry. The people there, they work hard. They work really hard, and they really innovate. And just because South Korea is not America doesn't make them any less significant. And Samsung, just proves to me time and time again that, hey, they're cutting out a better product, and Apple's just being a bully, putting them in court. You stole our design. Oh no, you stole our design. It's like, everybody's stealing everybody else's design. Okay, there's no guesswork on that. If we could just eliminate the attorneys and the lawyers and stuff and just focus on the engineering, I think we'll be a lot better off. There's another news that China is now more of a prolific contributor to physical science, engineering, and math. Not surprised at all, and it doesn't necessarily mean that China is better than America or anything. They just have a larger population, so they have more of a sample to draw from. So yeah, okay. Billions to our millions, they just have a better pool. They probably have a bigger pool of homeless people too, because the population kind of dictates what ratio you're kind of working with. And the last thing I'm going to kind of bring up today is Python. Yeah, they're joining a movement to dump an offensive term, master slave. Man, I don't even want to get into this. There is no politically correct when it comes to programming, but everybody's offended by everything nowadays. So I guess that's one of the things you just kind of have to deal with in the world. And unfortunately, it's invading, the technology realm, where I mean, there's no sense of getting offended by terms master and slave. They're there to put a meaningful attribute to, you know, what the component is. But, you know, everybody's kind of taking it the wrong way. And I don't mean everybody. I just mean there's a select few social justice warriors out there that, you know, they have their pronouns. They got it. And they must be referred to, and in a certain way. You know, heck, you know, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if some of these social justice warriors just start, oh, like my pronouns, or ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang, you know, some stupid shit like that, you know, and you will be punished and you will be put in prison if you don't refer to them in some nonsensical term, you know. I'm not going to get into that debate. I'm more on the side of keeping the languages as they are. You know, programming is hard enough to learn from first principles. We don't need to have pronouns for our objects and, you know, our things in the programming world. But that's kind of all I'm going to be talking about today. Like I said, I got to get to another meeting with a client. Everybody, this is, smash the likes, please. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. And this is D Wolf signing off.